Ladies and gentlemen, I just watched The Batman. You know, it's all people can talk about lately, and for good reason. So this is a spoiler review, meaning if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this because I am going to spoil some big points. But let's get straight into it, man. First of all, the tone of the movie is what really I want to talk about first. Like, completely different from any other Batman film we've seen, obviously, in terms of the ferocity, you know, the kind of grunge feel that that Robert Pattinson puts into the character. He was amazing playing Batman, really good. The fight scenes are brutal. You know, Batman just essentially beats these criminals, you know, halfway to death and maybe more. He takes shots too. He comes back from them, you know, like there's that scene where the guy, you know, the Riddler's goon or whatever, shoots him in the chest with a shotgun. He flies, and you know, you feel the pain in that scene. You're like, what the heck? And I like that because a lot of the times I feel like in superhero movies, it's like some dude gets hit and you're just like, he's basically immortal, whatever, he'll fight back. And this Batman felt really human. He felt extremely human. And going into that, one of the biggest scenes that I really liked in the movie was when Batman finds out the whole thing about his dad, you know, potentially killing that dude, and it creates that conflict in him. So he approaches the club again as Bruce Wayne instead of as Batman. Really cool moment to see. Kind of wish they would have, you know, incorporated it a bit more, but they still did a lot with it. You know, they had the whole meeting with Falcone and then the meeting with Alfred and so on. And yeah, man, a Catwoman is amazing in this movie. I forget her name, Zoe something, but she was really good playing Catwoman. I was really scared that Catwoman was just gonna like be this side character that didn't really fit in with the movie, and I think she fit in really well, especially having that connection to Falcone is really what I think saved her, honestly, as being in the movie. But she was still really good, really well done. And the last character to highlight, obviously, is the Riddler. His acting was phenomenal. The whole interrogation scene was really well done, and his, you know, lines were done really well. I mean, the car chase was amazing. Maybe dragged on a little bit too much, but I think it was worth it in the final scene where Penguin's car is flipped over and Batman's just walking to him with the fire behind him. Really cool. And then another really cool scene was when they were shooting and the Batman would like shoot and you'd see the gunfire would light up the scene and it'd stop, be dark. Someone would shoot again and it would light up the scene and it would go dark again. Thought that was a really cool scene. And so yeah, I really think this movie stood out. I can totally see why people are saying it's their favorite Batman movie. The whole crime, the detective aspect from it was a big thing that people praised it for, rightfully so. I mean, the detective work was really nice because Batman is supposed to be the greatest, you know, detective in the world, and so most of the times we don't even see that. Or he'll have a gadget that just does the job for him. But we actually saw him, you know, do some detective work. Gordon was a really good character. Penguin was also a really good character too. I didn't realize how much he would be in the movie. He was in the movie quite a lot, but I really liked his presence. I mean, the whole scene where they caught him for the last time and left him stranded there was so funny, with the Penguin being tied up and everything like that. So yeah, man, I really liked the movie. Some things I didn't love about the movie. The only like huge thing that I have against the movie or I didn't love about the movie is when they're talking about the flying rat and you're trying to figure out who the flying rat is, because the first riddles, it was kind of like, here's a code, and then they solve it for you. And so the third one, you're like, okay, I'm trying to solve this riddle, you know, along with the movie. Who's the flying rat? Who's the flying rat? And it turns out to be Falcone. Like, to me, that was just kind of a waste. I felt like they built that up for probably like 40 minutes, you know, of the movie. Who is the flying bat? Who is that? And it turns out to be Falcone. I was kind of like, I was so prepared for the flying rat to be the Joker. You know, I was so prepared for it to be the Joker. Obviously, can't really put him in with the Riddler, kind of take his spotlight, so I completely saw that. But then we did get to see him a little bit, so that kind of eased my mind. But I just really wanted it to be the Joker, especially since the DEA, who had the bomb around his neck, was like, you don't understand, if I say this dude's name, my whole family's dead. So I was like, oh, it's got to be someone, you know, it's got to be the Joker. Like, it has to be the Joker, or it could be some other villain or some other character. But the fact that it was Falcone was really kind of like, I didn't really buy into that much. I was kind of like, whatever. I mean, so yeah, that was kind of the thing I didn't really care for. The movie was long, but I still think like it paced really well, and I didn't really feel bored throughout any of it. You know, I was with the movie, and I was appreciating it pretty much the whole time. Catwoman, the one thing I will say about Catwoman, again, phenomenal actor, phenomenal acting. But the one thing I will say about Catwoman is her motives at first seemed kind of basic, you know, just going after, you know, them because they killed her friend or whatever. I was kind of like, and then the two Batman and Catwoman, their motives started kind of lining up. And I was like, in my head, I was kind of like, yeah, I guess I see it, but maybe their relationship feels a bit too forced at this point. Like they kind of just met and now they kind of have this thing going. And then they kind of, you know, go off. Like, I totally get it from, you know, they wanted Catwoman in the movie, so they're going to put Catwoman in the movie. But maybe it didn't help the story to the fullest. Like, in my eyes, you know, maybe you take Catwoman out of the movie, which is, I'm going to get freaking annihilated for saying that. But, you know, trust me, I was glad she was in the movie too, bro. But, like, maybe you take Catwoman out of the movie and, like, put in another villain or something like that, to kind of bring the extra shock factor to the movie. Not that the Riddler can't carry it himself, because he did, but I just think it would have been so cool, and I just really, really, really wanted the Joker. I wanted a surprise appearance of someone. And we kind of got it with the Joker, but I just wanted the Joker to be behind all of it, I guess. You know, I definitely thought it was going to be something where it was like the Riddler gets caught and the other head dude gets away, and that's the next movie. But you know, they left it really open to interpretation as terms of who the next villain's going to be. So that's good at least. But I mean, overall, love the movie. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you've already seen it and you kind of agree with me. Only positive things to say about it, you know, and would really recommend it to anyone to go watch. So yeah, that's my review.